welcome back to my channel today. So this tutorial is just a beginner friendly tutorial. I plan to just make this the beginning of this series I'm going to be doing. It's just a beginner friendly series, and if you guys like this one, then I'll continue. If you guys are indifferent about it, then I'll just stop at this one. But yeah, this is just the look I created, and it's basically focusing on the eyes. And also, if you have any makeup tutorial you would like to request, or any video in general you like to see on my channel, it doesn't even have to be makeup related. Anyways, let's get right into the video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, visit my blog, and also follow my Instagram account. That's makeupbyuwani. I post more on there, and also my other Instagram, Uwani. So yeah, let's get right into the video now. So first things first, as you can see, I don't know if you can notice, but some of us have discoloration, and you see my eyelids are darker than the rest of my face after I've done my makeup. So when you apply eyeshadow on your eyelids just like that, it won't be as vibrant, especially if you're a woman of color. If you're dark skinned, your eyeshadow is like basically not going to show at all. To solve that problem, you use a primer, and for a primer you can use an eyeshadow primer. Me personally, I prefer to use a concealer, and the concealer I use is the MAC Studio Finish Concealer in NW40. I'm just going to use a flat brush just to apply it on my eyelids, and then I'm going to use my fingers to blend it in. And the reason I use my fingers is because my fingers kind of warm up the concealer, so as I apply it, it's just warming it up and helping it to blend more. So after that is done, I'm going to go ahead and set it. I'm setting the concealer because I don't want the shadows to crease, and to set the concealer I'm going to be using the banana powder, and I'm just going to be using this fluffy brush to apply it. And you don't want to put too much because it's going to make it look powdery. You just want to set it a bit. Now for actually applying the eyeshadow, the first thing I like to do is to transition. And by transition, it's just applying it in your crease. And this just helps to bring together the colors in your brow bone area and your eyelid. And for the transition color, you want to make sure you use a very neutral color, and I like to use a brown color. You can use an orange color for this, a very light orange. It makes it look very good as well, but I like to use a brown color. Sometimes I even use the powder I use on my face as a transition color. But today I'm going to be working with my favorite palette, and I'm using the Too Faced Natural Matte palette. I really love this palette so much because the shadows are very pigmented, very neutral, and they're also buildable, so you can also transition into a smoky eye if you want to. So the first color I'm going to be going in with is this color called
So it's true, I'm in love, this is bad.
It kind of looks like it's more pink on the palette, but it appears really very light brown, and I love to use this just to transition. So for the transition color, you want to use a blending brush, and these are examples of blending brushes, and they're fluffy blending brushes. See, this is one from Real Techniques, and these are just random ones I own. All my brushes are cheap. I don't own any high-end brush set or anything, and maybe in the nearest future I will. But anyway, this is a different type of blending brush, and you see it's angled, and I like to use this for the transition color because I feel like it just positions well to blend it out. And then I'm just going to be applying that in my crease, and this is where your crease area is, in case you don't know. So as you can see, it's like almost my skin tone, so it's not really that visible, but it's doing what it's there for because it's going to help me transition other colors. So you want to start with the lightest colors and then build up. I'm going to go in with another blending brush, and I'm going to be using this color called Chocolate Cookie from the same palette. Basically, I'm just trying to build up the colors darker as I go in the crease. So this is kind of like a denser brush. This is going to help to pack more product. So I'm just going to be using that. As you can see, it's darker than the color we applied before. I'm not going to be taking it as high as I did the other one. So I'm just going to be putting it down here in the lower crease. And I'm just going to be blending it out as well. God, top throughs are so hard. Don't know how you YouTubers do this thing, but y'all be trying. After that is done, I like to go back in with the same brush I used in the first transition color to just blend those two together. Like, blending really is key when you're applying your eyeshadow because you don't want anybody to see your harsh lines. Next, I'm going to be using this color called Sexpresso. As you can see, it's dark. Like, I'm just following the sequence and it's just going darker. So I'm going to be applying that color called Sexpresso. I'm going to be applying it in the same place I put the previous color, and this is just going to darken it a bit, not too much. I'm going to be going in with a cleaner blending brush just to kind of blend it in because I don't want any more product on it. I'm satisfied with the amount of product I've put, so I just need to blend it into the other transition color we put before. So for my brow bone highlights, which is like just applying eyeshadow just right underneath your eyebrow, this just helps your eyebrow look a little more defined. It makes your eyebrow pop much. So I like to use a neutral color sometimes, but like my moods change, so I'm just giving you guys a neutral tutorial. So I'm going to be using this color from the same Too Faced palette. I'm going to be linking everything I use down below, and for this I'm going to be using a shader brush. There's different types of shader brushes. This is a really tiny one. This is a tiny shader brush. This is a big one to pack on more shadow, and this is an angled one. As you can see, it's kind of angled. Sort of. I like to use this to apply my brow bone highlights because it just helps to get in the corners of your arch, and this is just a medium-sized one. I'm going to be leaving all the links to similar brushes and all the products I've used down below, so you can check the description box for that. So I'm going to be applying that color called Honey Butter, and as you can see, the angle is going to help me place it in like there, just into the arch, like so. You want to kind of like bring it down a bit in simple strokes. I'm going to be using the same blending brush I applied my transition color with, and I'm just going to be blending that into the brow bone highlights, just so everything looks very seamless. And now for the lid color, I'm going to be, I don't really want to keep it matte because I feel like everything is matte on my eyes right now. So I want to do like I want to use a false shadow, and a false shadow is just basically an eyeshadow that has like sparkles, but like subtle sparkles. This Makeup Geek eyeshadow in Grandstand, and that's my favorite Makeup Geek eyeshadow. And I'm going to be using this flat shader brush. This isn't angled or anything because I don't really need it to be. It's just a flat shader brush, as you can see, and it's quite dense, so it's going to help me pack on color to my eyelid. And here's a tip for making your eyeshadows appear brighter. You want to spray your brush, and I'm using my Fix Plus to spray the brush, and this Fix Plus just is my face fixing spray to make sure my makeup stays put. So I'm just going to be using that on my brush, and I'm just going to spray it lightly like that. You don't want to over wet the brush, that way you damage your eyeshadow or whatever you're putting it on. So after that's done, I'm going to just pat that on. So you want to just put it sort of in like a patting motion, and you want to look down when you're applying it so it doesn't go onto your crease. So I'm just patting that on. And if you're not satisfied, you can always go back in and pack more. It's your product. Use it, girl. after that is done, I've applied the eyelid color. I'm going to go back into the color we used down here in this outer crease, and that's this color called Texpresso. And this is kind of like a dense and smaller blending brush, so I'm just going to use that there just to kind of blend it down into the shadow we applied, just a little bit. You don't want to be too firm when you're holding your brush, especially when you're using a dark color, because that's just going to apply it too much and you're just going to look like somebody beat you and punched your eye. I'm just going to use a blending brush, a clean one, and this is by Real Techniques, and I'm just going to use that to just blend everything together. Not together like, but just kind of clean up the blend. But if you want to intensify your look, you can go ahead and add a black shadow, and black shadows can be tricky, so when you want to apply them, just use a little at a time. So to apply my black shadow, I'm going to be using this pencil brush, and I'm just going to be using that to apply the black eyeshadow. So I'm going to be using this color called Corrupt by Makeup Geek. Kind of apply it in the outer corner of your eye. This is going to help make it smoky, smoky baby. And this just helps to intensify the look. You want to be careful, use little strokes. Use little strokes to apply this, and just leave it like so. I'm going to go ahead and blend it out. So you're kind of creating a V when you're applying it. That's why people call this part the outer V, in case you're confused when you're watching these videos. I swear YouTube gurus have so many slangs. Like even myself, I be confused when I'm watching it. I'm going to put this in my outer bridge of my outer inner nostril, you know. And then I'm going to be taking this denser brush we used to apply that darker color, and you want to go back and forth with your brushes because they're going to help you blend these colors out. And I'm just going to be blending that a little and blending it out as well. This kind of helps to give you the cat eye look without even applying eyeliner yet. Smoky eyes. Toya baby, how is you? Now I'm going to be going back in with that color. This first brush we used for the first transition color and color. Why do I say it like that? And I'm going to be blending out that black. As you can see, the little black color we applied has gone a long way. So that's why I say you don't really want to apply too much when you're dealing with black shadow. And then I'm going to be using a clean shadow, just blend everything. Clean brush, I mean, sorry. Little trick I like to do, and that's to take a light shadow and to apply it in my inner tear duct. This helps to open up your eyes, like your eyes look brighter than they already are. So for this step, I'm going to be using this color called Shimma also from Makeup Geek, and this is what it's called. I think that's what it looks like. And you can use the same eyeshadow you put in your eyelid to do this step, but I prefer to use a lighter one. So I'm going to be using that color called Shimma from Makeup Geek, and just there in the inner corner. Do you see? So that's basically it for eyeshadow makeup. I'm going to, you don't have to follow all the steps I've done, you don't have to do all the tricks, but this is just my take on it, so you can just get one or two tricks from it. I'm going to go ahead and apply my eyeliner and my eyelashes, which is probably going to cover all the work I've done, and then I'll be back in front of the camera. Girl, don't go anywhere. So I'm back darling. I want you. Okay, yeah, I'm back. I just applied my eyeliner and lashes and also this lip. But guys, you have to admit that, you know, this liner today is just wicked. Wicked. Damn, Daniel, like, do you see this liner? Oh my god. We got to zoom in. Zoom in on this shit. Wait, that's heavy. That's some serious liner game going on. Like, I'm sorry, I hate to be the one to say it myself, but damn.